Attention crew and passengers. This is your co-pilot speaking. Your pilot is black mind, so you are not going blind and there is no power failure. You are merely experiencing the immense blackness of his proximity, and when you hear his voice, the cabin will get even darker than it is now. We will be cruising at the speed equal to the speed of light, because there is one thing that can match it, and that is darkness. You will probably be a lot darker when we arrive as well. This is normal, and your loved ones awaiting your arrival might think you spend time in the tropics. When you tell them about the pilot, they'll understand. We will taxi to the runway now, so please buckle up and prepare for a high-speed departure. Thank you for choosing Jet Black Airways.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Look, what I want to give a shout out to Edward Allen Anderson and to Lion and MGTOW. Lion and MGTOW pointed out the possibility that I've been shadow banned, and while the notifications that did not go out for the last live stream are not the reason I think I have been, I noticed that every time there's an uptick in subscriptions, it then slowly goes down as if there's an algorithm going through and unsubscribing subscribers on their behalf without them knowing and without me knowing. This has happened 4 times at least. I went up to about 3,612 and then it went down to 3,601 within a few days. Some people do unsubscribe. I don't blame them as long as they're honest with themselves. Other people aren't. They're just being unsubscribed. Look, what I wanted to point out though is something that Edward Allen Anderson said, which shows why it matters that we get shadow banned. I have a knack for noticing details others might forget. I wouldn't say that I'm terribly profound. So I'm not saying something controversial enough to where it would warrant anybody wanting to silence me. Except maybe when I've said that the one thing we men have done wrong, especially we Western black men have done wrong, is be too easy. Because if we realize that, that would change a lot of things. And I realize now that we're not realizing this even after I've said it in this space. How do I know? Edward Allen Anderson pointed out that Chantel Simone got $1,500 US in 3 days in her during her lives on the super chats and through Cash App from one guy. And that he did it just despite brothers that were saying shouldn't be no women in the space at all. If we found that middle ground, that balance, then the shadow banning wouldn't matter because we would practice grouponomics with each other. And understand this, we're going, when it comes to grouponomics, creating an economy, using your individual finances to contribute to a group economy, that is still going to have to be done in such a way that men in this space get priority over women who join. Even when these women are joining and they're showing approval. And they can be allies if they want, if they really want to and they want to be sincere. I'm not one for pushing people away who don't mean any harm or de-incentivizing them. Because what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and join your enemies then. What I am for is us utilizing our dough with each other. Forget about me. See, I know exactly now how much I would need to, on top of what I already have saved, I know exactly how much I would need to go to Southeast Asia, start a business for which there is a demand. I know what that takes. But by the same token, although I know what that takes, I also understand that that is my job and my responsibility to go to work and earn it. And now, if by November 15th, I haven't found a job, then I will turn around, because it means I'm not going to find one. Then I will turn and I'll ask y'all for help. And if each subscriber sent $4, that'd be enough. But see, I'm not going to start until then. Because the first point of responsibility is, it's not my fault that I don't have that, but it is my responsibility to work and save to get it if possible. I understand that as a man, and most of you men understand that it's your job to get out there and get the exact same money that gets up and runs from everybody. Except women, ironically. But the reason money does not get up and run from women is not because money likes women like men like women. It's because men like women enough to just fork over hard-earned money in exchange for nothing. And what I'm saying is nothing against Chantel Simone. If she was Muslim and we lived near each other and I didn't know that my wife existed, then she would have had a potential husband. We would at least discussed it. So what I'm saying is not anything against her. It's in spite of biases that would have worked in her favor under different circumstances. Now, the way things are, we're not religiously compatible. We live too far apart. And ultimately, nobody competes with my wife. They don't even try to. My wife won. And I won. But you understand the frame of reference and the point of view regarding Chantel Simone from which I'm coming when I say that men should not be sending them 1,500 mother cuss word dollars over the course of 3 days. Absolutely not. Not bad if you got it. If you got it, there are dudes in the Manosphere you can support. That's camera equipment and studio equipment for guys that are trying. And it just ain't taking off for whatever reason, because they starting with nothing. Sitting out to base Muslim. And granted, this sounds like me trying to wallet police as well as ding-a-ling police. Well, you know what? Women do this, and that's part of the reason why it is that that these women in non-first world countries can be so competitive. They don't punani police. We don't ding-a-ling police enough. And we don't wallet police enough. That means we're not guilty of it as far as the ladies are concerned, but that also means that these thirsty ninjas who can be on an opposite extreme in which they say, let all the women in this space so that I can try to shine and stunt on you ninjas to win their approval. They have an avenue. And when this happens, nobody wins except the chameleons. Why is that? The chameleons wind up winning because, unlike sincere women don't even ask for this. They might get it. That seems to be what happened in Chantel Simone's case. I've not heard her say anything that would tell me she's a chameleon. If you all have, you could tell me with a timestamp, please. But I didn't hear her say it. I heard when Melanie King showed herself. And Melanie's making a nice chunk of change and a nice income. I don't know exactly how much, but I mean, she's getting quite the support. And this is after not only did her mask move a little bit, causing suspicion when talking to Austin and trying to give him the laws, but then again, her last husband was not ADOS. But then it fell off when that guy asked her that tough question. And it was a tough question. It was kind of painful, but it fell off. The mask still fell off. And while she had a right to be frustrated, the mask still fell off, and she blamed that man who was not coming to attack her. I know the guy's real name. He has social media. We're in one of the same groups. He tells his experiences so that we can learn. He doesn't even come in and say, I'm going to tell you black men, and I'm just going to instruct y'all and direct y'all. No, he just came in and said, look, I'll tell you what it's like so that you'll know what's universal and what's unique to you. You'll be able to figure it out, because I don't know. But if you compare notes, then you'll know. And that's fair. It's That Bad should be making a ton of money hand over fist because she dropped the mask for him. The young artist and the young vendor, whose links I put in my video, UBMPT, and the importance of knowing each other and recognizing each other on site, should have the merchandise flying off the shelves. One of them just got a job. He's a young brother, so he just got his first official on the table job. I think it's an artist, if I'm not mistaken. And that's cool. I'm glad he's got it, because he would need to learn the organizational skills on top of the ones he probably already has. But understand this. That man, if he's selling merchandise to the Black Manosphere, though we're not a sum total of however many subscribers all of us have all added together, because there's so much overlap that the numbers will probably be much smaller than that. You got the same few subscribing to most of the channels. Nonetheless, these things will fly off the shelf. Some might say, yeah, but look at the unit price. That's true. But, guys that sit up here and send 500 an average a day for 3 days straight, totaling to 1,500, just because a content creator is a woman and she's cute, and skipping the chance to really grease up a bra's pockets, a shine's pockets, are the same ones that turn around and go and buy some expensive stuff just to stunt on these broads. The unit prices are what they are now because they're just getting started. The divestors had to start the same way. They got merchandise. Crimson Cure showed us, and General Tito showed us the divestors merchandise. Did they not? That sells for less per unit because they're selling so many units. Got it? I tried to record this 4 times to make this under 9 minutes, and I couldn't. But I'm trying to say that if we practice grouponomics, we would have our own video hosting website, one of our own. One of us would have had it. Because when he got the site and then told us about it, the news would have gone and spread like wildfire. We would have backed everything up on that. So we would have been in the process of migrating from YouTube to that. And Cynthia G would not be allowed. And her likes would not be allowed, unlike the opposite, which is on YouTube right now. If we practice grouponomics, we would probably have our own social networking site similar to Facebook. Now, Black folks have these things and they're not very supported. Black Junction. But the Black Manosphere would have it, which we don't. So you could have your little Facebook account for everybody, and you could have that social networking account for the Manosphere. We could, there are many things that we could have had. More merchandise than what we do. Selling at greater volume than what we have. Other souvenirs and things by which we could recognize each other on site. We don't have them. Because when somebody does have the idea in the space, they're going to get no support. But ladies can come in and jiggle some titties, or even not do so, and make dough. And when men say, hold up, do I have to be a lady to actually make dough doing this? Then other guys are going out of spite, send these women more money and get nothing in exchange. And mind you, like I said, what I'm saying ain't even nothing against Chantel Simone. She's just new. Crimson Cure's the one to whom we should be sending money. But I'm not aware of her ever collecting $1,500 in no 3 days. Because she's been at this for a while. We know Melanie shouldn't. She should have to go and work at the nearest Walmart or Target, if she's lucky Target. She should have had to do that after that mask dropped. Her emotions should have cost her her income, and it didn't. And that's on us. And that's why shadow banning matters in the first mother cuss word placed to any of us. If we had practiced grouponomics well from the beginning, let's say 2.0, guess what would happen? Shadow banning would matter very little. It wouldn't really be a thing because we could put stuff on YouTube to attract a bigger audience, but we could also, in order to maintain the ones we got and not be shut down, we'd actually have more of our stuff on whichever other video hosting website it is. We didn't even move in as a mass customer base on the ones that already exist. We could have taken over the customer base for Odyssey. We didn't. BlackJunction.tv. We didn't. We could have been the customer base so big and such a majority that they can't ban none of us and they have to ban the divestors. We didn't. You get the idea. Thank you for listening. Sorry this took so long. I hope this helps. As always, black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual non-select male power, and black patriarchy, and black manosphere wealth until extinction or judgment day.